Whoever's dropping in and out of the live, make your fucking mind up. Come in or fuck off. I don't mind which one it is. Anyway, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jane Allwright. Good evening, Anne Lynch. Good evening, Nathan Freeman. Good evening, Nigel Spencer. Big ears. Good evening, John Thistlethwaite and Griffin. Who else we got? Charlotte Marie. Let's have a look on this one over here in the other studio. Okay, now Sarah Pinther, Matt J. Everwood, Dodgy, Betty Swallocks. I hope they do. And Rachel Collins, Annie O'Sullivan, the one and only Scott Smith. We've done him. Gemma Foster. I think we've done Gemma. Charlotte Marie and everyone. Anybody else that we've missed, good evening. Evening, Alan. How are you, young man?
I'm not very happy, Bunny.
Go on, tell us. Tell them why you're not fucking happy then. What's fucking...
Right, I'll tell you what, I'm going to start off now. This might be controversial. I'm going to start off with this and saying, right, if Sandy Smith has got something to say, you need to phone me. I've tried on umpteen times to phone you to clear the air and get this resolved. And you need to cease and stop what you're doing in saying some of the things you're meaning or aiming at me, because you're talking about things that have no relevance. You're talking about frosted stairs and glass when somebody's looking up at these stairs when we're having a meal, but you won't actually say names. You're making wild hints and then you're hijacking other people's shows. Please, I asked you to stop this. I've tried to phone you. I've tried to speak to you man to man on this. Stop spreading rumours about me, because at the end of the day, you're becoming part of the problem, not part of the cure. We're trying to stop this now. We're supposed to be child abuse campaigners and survivors from the abuse that we suffered as children. Stop this now. Let's move forward. And I want to answer this because I don't do this normally, and I don't want to be doing this. You're hijacking and using other people's platforms. Stop doing it. That's me. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. You've had your say. And what I would like to say is this. Come and have a shoot out like a proper man, like fucking General Custer. Yeah? That's all I want to say about that, Matt. Anyway, you've had your say. All right, fair enough. That's the thing about his platform. It doesn't matter whether you're a guest, whether you're a talker, whether you're a speaker, whether you're part of the cast or whoever you are. There's a link that people put up. If anybody wants to click on that and come and have a shootout, or just want to talk about something in general, something's gone on in your life and you want to air it, it's here for you to do it. And you can say whatever you want. I'll keep that zipped. He'll keep his zipped. This one. No, this one, Dave. I've changed my screen around again. And you can have your say for 10 minutes, but don't be surprised if the old guns come out, depending on what you have to say. So that's that. There's the link. Yeah, we don't stop anybody coming in. We see when they're in down the bottom in the green room, and then we'll bring you on when we're ready, when we've loaded up with not rubber bullets. Yeah, well,
yes, I had to say something because I got a phone call today and somebody was saying something. Have you heard what's been said? I don't really want to get involved in he said, she says, because know it blows out of all proportion and it causes nothing but trouble, and we end up getting trolled to death.
Generally speaking, what happens, because funny enough, I didn't know you was going to say any of that, obviously, because I'm not inside your fucking head, not totally anyway. I know you can't sleep at night, but that leads us into the first thing, really. A lot of people who are on here, we got 26 now, I think, who's listening and typing away. A lady called Michelle Blake that I do know, Michelle. I've known Michelle for quite a while, a long time. I've known her. And she's been getting some horrific posts put up about her, but not on Facebook. They started on Facebook and they've moved it to Twitter. I don't know if that's oh, there you go. That's the some of the stuff they're putting up. That's her and her husband. That's her and her mother. They brought a mother into it. That's supposed to be Michelle Blake. Oh, it's fucking amusing. That must have taken ages to think of that. Yeah, Jim Carrey stuff. They brought her daughter into it. Son's been. There's posts of all sorts of clips they're putting up of other people. But if you want to have a go at someone or troll someone, stick to that person. Why do you have to involve their fucking brother, their auntie, their uncle, their dad, their granny, their fucking buried fucking last wife? Yeah, why do you have to involve everybody else? If you've got a beef with me, yeah, good luck. Come to me. Yeah, don't come to Alan and bring Alan into it, because Alan's got his own mind. Whatever Alan says on this show is his own mind. Whatever I say on this It's not my own mind because it's not very. I haven't got much of one, and this isn't connected to anything. So anything can come out of there, and I'm going to take the fifth that I'm not in control of it. So there you go. But yeah, why you have to bring every fucking body into it, I do not know. But people fucking do. They got to get themselves a little fucking army of fucking moist cockwombles together and take sides like they're back in the fucking playground when they were 6 years old. I was playing marbles. Someone drive me fucking nuts, and I'd say, "Leave me alone. I'm playing fucking marbles." But I wouldn't join in with the bollocks. It wasn't for me, and I still don't today. I don't need backup. So, and you shouldn't either, because if you want to have a go at someone, you should be man enough or woman enough to do it on your own. And
all I can do, Dave, if you let me just
fucking line, preferably.
Dave, just let me say this. All I can do is apologise to wake up viewers if I've said something on their platform. And at the end of the day, if somebody else is going to use that platform to say what they want to say, then they have the courtesy to speak to me as well, or phone me up, and don't blank my calls. You've got something to say, the link's in here. If you want to come in, and we'll have this discussion, and you can tell it exactly to people. And there are a lot of people that follow me, and I go around the country and supporting other people, right? Yeah. I've done it, and I've done it for Sandy in Scotland, right? But I don't know what his problem is. For him to turn around and turn on another survivor or campaigner is quite disrespectful.
Well, the only way you're going to find that out is for him to come and explain what his problem is. And he's not going to come on here. I always suggest, me personally, 2 suggestions I do have for social media is 1, don't air your dirty washing online. It's not a good look. And, you know what I mean? It isn't a good look. And if you do need to get it off your chest, there's a thing called DM or Messenger, private message. Yeah. I'm always up for a private message. My number's known throughout the fucking lands. It's on social media everywhere, my telephone number. And I'm more than happy to people but listen, if you're going to give me an abusive phone call, at least be abusive. None of this fucking quiet bollocks. Yeah. At least some heavy breathing, minimum. That's the minimum bar we're setting, for abusive phone calls. Heavy breathing, minimum. All right? Yeah. Put a bit of fucking effort in. So there you go. That's that.
I would say on that, David, is you don't drag your dead cat down the bloody high street.
No.
At the end of the day, if you've got
and drinking, I don't suggest you come on do lives drunk. I mean, obviously you can. There's nothing stopping you doing it. But to me personally, I mean, I've never done it, and I wouldn't, because I can make myself look a twat without alcohol. Funny enough, and I do regular on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes during the day.
Well, let me finish off and just turn around and say, let's move on from this. Let's stop this from happening. This shouldn't be happening. Not to fellow campaigners that are fighting the same cause, allegedly, as ever. If you're going to start playing cryptic games and mentioning certain things, be man enough to name that person and tell them exactly what they did. Show us evidence or proof or video proof of what they've done and said. Don't start saying, because if you're going to start putting words into people's mouths, right? What are you thinking to put that into people's minds in the first place?
Well, because what you'll find, Alan, is, to be honest with you, I don't do this to build a platform. I said it from day one. Listen, I've done lives plenty of times with 3 or 4 people in them. Loads of times with just 3 or 4 people. I haven't done it for a while, but I do karaoke nights. I haven't done one for quite a while. But I do a karaoke if I feel like singing, which I often do. You know, when you've got the old music on, it's 10, 11 o'clock at night. Want to drive they're having a party next door. The only neighbour I've got, they're going mental. I'll fucking go double mental, and I'll do the old karaoke, and I'll do it live. But I don't do it drunk. You know what I mean? It's not a good look. But what you'll find is some people do generally want to build a fucking massive following for whatever reason, whether it's egotistical, for whatever reason it is. That's what I want to do. I've always said that the only reason I do this is I find it's a bit of banter. Mate, I don't want to watch that square box, to be honest with you. And I only sleep a couple of hours a night. I can watch a Netflix movie around about midnight. You know what I mean? Yeah. Go to sleep about 3, 4 hours, get up about 5, 6, and crack on with my day. And I just do this for the crack more than anything. Just for the fucking crack. Because I enjoy doing this. Nothing else. And if people enjoy doing it, fucking hell, it's a win-win, isn't it?
It is. Listen, David, we need. It's about working together, not causing a divide. That is the end of it. Why I do this is there are people out there, and people have gone to their graves, right? And they haven't had the chance to tell their story on coming from abusive childcare like Beach Home. Beach Home is a story in itself and should have been a public inquiry. End of.
Yeah, I know.
Move on now.
And you have brought a lot of people. You have brought a lot of people out over the years of you campaigning who have never felt or never had the opportunity to even. Some survivors have never met another survivor, have they? You know what I mean?
No,
until they find a platform such as yourselves, or even maybe this one, and they'll private message you and they'll have a little talk to you, a little cry over the internet sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
that is, do you know what, David? You don't realise how rewarding that is when somebody's around and says, it wasn't for you speaking out. I had the bravery to come out and tell my story. That means that's heartfelt.
Right, listen, Scott did stick a finger. I wasn't ignoring it, Scott. It's just that we'd gone on a bit of a tangent there.
Sorry about that.
Good to see you, Dave. Your face ache, jailbird. Yeah, I'm in Facebook jail. It's fucking gorgeous, isn't it? It ain't so bad, Facebook jail, is it, Al? You know what I mean? Good for the fucking young Joanna over there, you know, a bit of fucking live music. We have a bit of a compare at night. But what I do need, right? Listen, folks, it's fucking hard. The canteen's expensive in Facebook, right? The chocolate's expensive. The cigars cost a fortune, right? So if you want to send me any postal orders, it's 4A Marine Place, because they keep you locked up in your own house. It's 4A Marine Place, Worthing, West Sussex, BN11 3DN, right? The minimum you can send in a postal order, the governor's, it's not my rules, it's the governor's rules, is a tenner, evidently. So if anybody wants to send tenners, especially those ones who don't like the Queen, because you don't want to be looking at her on those fucking notes, do you? You know what I mean? Send all of them. Yeah, and I'll look after them for you. All right. So, yeah, there you go. That's that. My EDR, somebody asked me, what's my EDR? Is the, hang on. Where's my EDR, Dave? That's June. This is July. It's around about here, isn't it? EDR from Facebook jail, I've got it in my diary, is Saturday, the 9th of July. Okay. But you ain't going to get rid of me because we've got this system that fucking streams straight to Facebook. So I'm still on there. I'm still on my page because somebody else has shared it on there for me. The only thing I can't do is talk to you, answer messages. I can answer you in a DM, but if you give me stuff to share, like people still are, good luck with that. It won't be getting shared until the 9th of July. No likey, no sharey, and no commenty. That's Zuckerberg's rules, not mine. But the governor does allow postal orders from £10 upwards delivered personally. Okay, via our Royal Mail. All right. And if you want to drop cash off, by all means do it. You know, and I'll buy you a coffee on the strength of that one. So we've done Michelle Blake, but it is fucking terrible what they're doing to Michelle. They call it trolling. I don't understand this fucking terminology, trolling, to be honest with you. It's just been out and out fucking rude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can be rude, but fuck me, I wouldn't be sticking pictures up of people with stupid faces and Miss fucking Piggy. That's fucking beyond the beyonds. You know, that is fucking beyond the beyonds, mate. That's beyond childish. That is beyond fucking childish.
But I would say to anybody,
the thing is, what you have to think of, right? At the end of the day, I mean, she has got the obviously because it's involving her family. She doesn't like that side of it herself. She's up game for it. She don't give a fuck. When it's your family, it's you know, you get defensive, don't you? Especially as a female. When it's your kids they're having a knock at, you know what I mean? And when they're knocking at you for your kids. For a female, it's fucking double fucking sore. For a bloke, it ain't so bad because we're not that much. Well, we're not maternal, are we? We make them, they fucking bake them. That's the way it is. But if Michelle, and she has had, it is straining when you see it fucking day in, day out, message after message after message from people sending the bollocks that they put up, right? Just think if these people did that to somebody who was fucking mentally vulnerable, and they did something fucking that they shouldn't do, and it involved a bit of rope or maybe medication or a fucking knife. You know what I mean? What would they be fucking? Is that the stage they want it to get to? That somebody actually fucking tops himself over it? Is that what you're looking for? Because that ain't a good look. And whatever's gone on, whatever you've fallen out over, it can't fucking mean you want someone to fucking kill themselves for it, surely. Yeah. Or fucking be in a bad place. That is fucking you've got more than a screw loose. That's more than fucking mental health to me. You know what I mean? That's beyond that. It's Beyond the fucking beyonds is what it is. So fucking pack it up. And that's what I'm saying on that matter. Names are out there who's done it. I'm not going to get involved in names unless somebody wants to come here, i.e. those people, or Michelle wants to come on and name names. I'm quite happy for that. But that's not my fucking job to name names. Everyone knows who it is, evidently. I've got a very fucking good idea. And if it gets to that fucking stage, it will. But we'll see what goes on. I'd just say fucking pack it up, wind your neck in, go and get a job at Tesco's and earn some fucking money, you fucking morons.
But Dave, she can hold her own. She can hold her own.
Yeah, but Alan, even if you can hold your own, mate, it's still fucking, you know what I mean? Day after day, week after week.
Yeah, I know exactly where she's coming because I saw it with John, and I saw what they were doing with John, taking photographs of his work, where he worked.
Everyone's got their limits. You know what I mean? My limit ends in violence.
Children. Hang on, let me just get the word in.
Go on.
And his children and everything else, and putting their vehicles online for people to attack. People had nothing to do with it. It's the saying is, why are you bringing people into arguments that you've got and problems and issues that you've got? Why take it out on other people? It just doesn't seem right. It's supposed to be for the good, not for the bad.
Yeah. Charlotte Marie put a fucking good comment up. It's just flown by, actually, because the comments are pretty busy, even on the big screen.
Yeah.
The thing is, Worth, people these days, they've got no conscience. And if someone did top themselves, it wouldn't bother these people at all. And it wouldn't. No, I know it wouldn't, Charlotte, which is fucking sad, really. And these people still have people following them, because it is true to a degree that birds of a feather generally do flock to fucking together. Luckily, the moist cockwombles are fucking, you know, very small in fucking numbers. Then they do need to build themselves a fucking page and crack on. Cockwombles or us or something. I don't know.
But Dave, it's horrible to say this, but people have taken their lives.
Yeah, I know. Of course, yeah. Well, kids do it online, mate. They bait each other online, and there is a charge called assisted suicide still in this country.
Yeah, so that's the horrific part.
And yeah, they do. They egg them on, is what we say. Yeah. They do egg them on to you know, go on then, do it, and all this fucking bollocks. But
it's almost like assisted suicide in some respects.
I don't know what the answer is. I don't know. The answer is probably to fucking beat them to death, probably with a big fucking baseball bat with nails in it. That'd be my solution.
The easiest way is to block and move on.
Yeah, but people go through that blocking and they open other accounts and you're not sure who they are, and you let them add you, you private your account, you shut your account, but they still manage because they've now moved from Facebook. They're doing it on Twitter or Twatter, as I like to call it. That's where they're doing all the abuse at the moment, on Twitter. So there you go. On that particular person. But she's coming home soon. I'll buy her a bit of dinner. We'll go out and have a fucking few bevies, and hopefully things will fucking settle down a bit. So that's that. Oh, 2 Brits were given the death penalty by the Russians, who are currently held in the eastern part of Ukraine.
The Foreign Secretary Liz Truss has raised with her Ukrainian counterpart the case of 2 Britons who have been sentenced to death for fighting against Russian forces. Aidan Aslan and Sean Pinner were captured while fighting with the Ukrainian army and have been tried as mercenaries by a court in Russian-held territory. Both men had been living in Ukraine at the time of the Russian invasion. Well, the Foreign Secretary says the death sentences are an egregious breach of the Geneva Convention. James Landale, our diplomatic correspondent, has this report.
Aidan Aslan and Sean Pinner had served in Ukraine's armed forces for several years. They'd made the country their home. But now these 2 Britons have been sentenced to death for being mercenaries.
If you're watching this, it means that we've surrendered.
Both men had been defending the city of Mariupol. This was Mr. Aslan's last video message before they ran out of ammunition and were forced to surrender. The 2 Britons were convicted by a court in Russian-held eastern Ukraine, a court not recognised internationally. Russian state television said the men had a month to appeal.
Russian authorities.
Mr. Aslan's former MP said he hoped both men could be swapped for Russian prisoners.
There are prisoner exchanges happening between the Ukrainian and the Russian army, and the Ukrainian ambassador told me last night that they would give priority to Aidan and Sean in one of those exchanges, but that of course relies on Russia playing ball.
The Foreign Secretary Liz Truss discussed the situation on the phone this morning with her Ukrainian counterpart, Dmytro Kuleba. In a tweet afterwards, she said the men were prisoners of war and the judgment against them was an egregious breach of the Geneva Conventions. But the Foreign Office...
Yeah. I haven't had a chance yet.
That was for our deaf friends. I thought I'd do a bit because I'm not too bad at it. You know what I mean?
I'm just answering a comment there, Dave, to Alan Fossey. I haven't had a chance yet, Alan. I haven't seen that. He's put a post
I
up
did see
there.
his comment. I thought you'd pick it up. You're getting good at this, Al, aren't you?
I don't think so. But at the
Yeah,
end of
you
the
are.
day, you know,
Well, you better
we're
fucking
in.
line up, mate, because I'm having a week off fucking next week, son. So
You'll have no viewers, eh?
it is what it is. What'll happen is it'll be all big fucking handbags at dawn, fucking singing and dancing. They'll ask for fucking something. They'll give them something. They'll come home and it'll all be fucking done and dusted. So that's what's happening. They ain't going to get fucking killed in Russia or the part of Ukraine where the Russians are keeping them. And if they'd have kept it off the fucking news, no, we wouldn't have had to put this on our segment. And no one would have been none the fucking wiser. Could have said, "Oh, let these fucking geezers go to getting on our tits. We're having to feed them."
Yeah. Thank you, Matt, for that. And also, Michelle's in as well. Evening, Michelle.
Good evening, Michelle. You've just missed your little bit, Michelle. We've just done a little bit about the horrible trolling, but you'll be able to see it on Catch Up. I think actually on YouTube you can rewind. So yeah, that's that. We have spoken about it. If you want to name names, Michelle, crack on, darling. Some people have asked for the names. I think Sharon's has asked for the name. She wished she knew who they were, so she hasn't got them on her friends list. So if you want to name the names, Michelle, do it. That wasn't my position to do that. Everyone's doing brilliant. A lot of people are asking after you, Michelle, because we did put up some of the fucking abhorrent stuff that they've been posting on Twitter, and it is fucking disgusting. But when you come home, I'll take you out for a bit of dinner. We'll have a couple of fucking glasses of vino, not too much, no falling over, and that's that. And you'll be home soon. So there you go. You'll have to read that back. Or
Yeah, I will answer Alan back as well.
So, part 4. Oh, we have got a guest coming on tonight. They're not here yet. We've had one guest cancel last minute, bless them, or couldn't get contact, wasn't it, Alan?
I don't know what happened. No, I didn't get nothing back.
So we've had one guest, not fucking a no-show, we'll call it, shall we?
Yeah.
We've had a no-show, a blowout, as I like to call it. And we've got one person who's supposed to be coming in, but they're got to do a few things before they can get here, so they might come in the middle or towards the end, and it'll be quite a good bit that they come in and do, hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, so we've now got the legal system now blocking the dinghy divers, whatever you want to call them, the illegals. Our
The court
friends
has
from
begun hearing an attempt to stop the removal of migrants to Rwanda. More than 100 people are due to be flown there on Tuesday. The court has heard arguments from lawyers for a group of migrants and campaigners, and so far 3 asylum seekers will now not be put on that flight to Rwanda. Our Home and Legal Affairs correspondent Dominic Casciani has this report.
A bed with a roof over it, but is it safety and sanctuary? This is one of the reception hotels waiting in Rwanda's capital, Kigali, for asylum seekers from the UK due to arrive on a flight leaving next Tuesday. Legally controversial, but a political priority for Home Secretary Priti Patel, who struck the deal with the country's government to receive asylum seekers that the Home Office doesn't want to consider for refuge at home. People like these. Migrants crossing the English Channel this year, 10,000 since January, double the rate of last year. Targeted for removal from the UK because the Home Office claims they have no legal right to seek asylum here. The Home Office says its Rwanda policy targets migrants taking dangerous, unnecessary and illegal journeys to the UK. The rules apply to some, but not all, reaching the UK through a safe country. Rwanda will take responsibility for their asylum claims, although the UK will foot the bills. But charities say the entire plan is illegal, and that's why they're today asking judges to stop it.
We don't believe that anyone should be being punished for claiming asylum. The UK is a signatory to the Refugee Convention. We have the right to claim asylum as a human right. It is a one-way ticket. There is no route back to the UK, even if they are then recognised theoretically in Rwanda as a refugee. It's a stepping back entirely of our obligation to protect people in need of persecution.
The government always knew that this plan was so contentious it was going to end up in court. But the Home Office says that it's lawful to send people to Rwanda because they should have claimed asylum in the EU first. But today, a judge heard that the UN has such concerns about the standards of asylum in the country, it's irrational to send anyone there at all. Lawyers for the charities say the Home Office is misleading the court, warning that migrants will face legal chaos and arbitrary treatment. And that's why they want to kill the policy dead, a policy minister says vital to deterring dangerous journeys over the English Channel.
Good evening, Paul Bogey.
Good evening, Paul.
Somebody else jumped in that I just saw jumped in. It's gone now. I've missed them. Anyway, somebody else has jumped in. Good evening, all the others. There's a load of people jumped in, evidently. It's probably on the back of Michelle Blake. And I'd like to say to everyone in the comments, thank you very much indeed for backing Michelle up. Because what is going on, regardless of two people having a fallout, for whatever reason they've had to fall out, what's going on at this fucking present time and has been going on for ages, there's no fucking excuse for it, for any excuse for it. None. Zero. Zilch. You could, if you want to come in and try and justify yourselves, by all means, fucking crack on. And I wish you the best of fucking luck. And we're fucking tooled up, so fucking be fucking ready for it. Okay, so that's that. So yeah, this was always on the cards with these, with the Rwanda job, was always on the cards. Yeah, and I believe myself personally, this is only my own belief. I've got no proof and no evidence, right? Apart from common sense tells me, right, that when she brought up this idea of sending them to Rwanda, right, I'd know from a backward fucking halfwit, yeah, that I would know that the legal system would step in and go, woohoo, fill my fucking boots, sunshine. Right, get the legal aid forms out, boys. We've got a few customers coming in. They're all down in Dover. If we could send her a member of staff down there, issue them all with our business cards and our bits of paper, we'll have them in the office and we'll get 10 grand a fucking head for them through the legal aid system. And we'll start draining some more of that money out. And that's what's happened. Is legal aid stepped in and they're blocking anybody being removed from the United Kingdom to Rwanda. And that was always on the fucking cards. And all I think she did was she said to her mates who have got fucking huge solicitors firms, listen, fellas, don't worry. I know you've had a bad 2 years because of the COVID and all that and the lockdowns. You've not had a lot of work for the last 2 years, but we're going to fill your fucking bank accounts up, right? Because you're going to be able to drain the legal aid system. You know all that money the taxpayers put in? Yeah, you can fucking help yourselves. And that's what they're doing. They're raping the legal aid system. And bearing in mind, you've got mums and fathers trying to fight for their kids through the legal system, and people trying to fight in general through the legal system can't get a fucking dollar on legal aid. And they've paid in all their fucking lives, one way or the other. So, yeah, if you need the legal aid system, evidently you've got to go ferry from Dover to Calais, dinghy, back, and bang, you get your legal aid forms. So if you need legal aid,
what happened to looking after your own? What about our own people? And instead of them, although they might be sending them to Rwanda, although I think it's been blocked by the High Court or something's happened with the High Court.
It was always
at the end of the day, we still, the taxpayer, are going to foot the bill.
Yeah.
What happened to our own? Looking after our own.
I don't watch it very often now.
To get looked after.
I don't watch it very often, but now and then. Last night I was talking to Matt on the phone about something. Anyway, Question Time came on, on the telly, and I don't normally watch it because Question Time could quite possibly cost me a fucking TV. You know what I mean? Where something gets
yeah.
So I tend to stay away from it. Yeah. But it was in Dorking last night, which is only up the road from me, just over the Downs. Very posh, you know what I mean? Stockbroker belt. And they were talking about affordable housing and other such fucking bollocks. And they said about affordable housing down this neck of the woods, you know, the south and the southeast, been around about the 300,000 mark. That's affordable, yeah. One of the residents of Dorking put their hand up, bless him, a fella it was, and he said, good luck with finding a property in Dorking for 300,000 because it's not possible. But they were talking about all various stuff to go on that were going on tonight. But one of the guys on the table, one of the fellas, the divs from fucking Parliament, He said, "Oh, don't worry, the government's got the money to do this." The government hasn't got any fucking money, mate. It's fucking our money. It ain't your money. You haven't got a fucking dollar. You're not a money. You are a money-making machine because you fucking take it all from the taxpayers, one way or a fucking another. Oh, we got a surprise guest in by the looks of it, have we?
It looks like it. All right, John. Can you hear us, John?
Wind up. Wind up.
Yeah.
It's a wind up. Yeah, it's a wind up. That's what. Listen, if John was here, one, you would have got a phone call. I would have got a phone call, right? And number two, John wouldn't come in without his face on. That's the fucking horse person. You know, remember the horse person who come on last week sometime? Remember the horse?
Yeah.
The horse is back. Here we go. Come on, get them off. No masturbating on the Loquacious Live show. You can do most things, but you're not allowed to masturbate, please.
It's great to know they all want to waste their time on our show, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? And the
Right.
thing about
Here all night and then back away,
what shall I do tonight?
IP address, so their IP
It's
address
Friday
can be
night. It's Friday night. What shall I do? My life's so exciting. It's Friday night. What shall I do? What do most people do on a Friday night? Most people sit back, relax, have a fucking glass of wine, a beer, maybe a cup of tea, watch a bit of EastEnders, bit of Coronation Street. Come on and watch the Loquacious Live. What does this cockwomble do? I know. I'll come on there and pretend I'm a fucking horse with no
What's it,
picture.
two weeks on now from when we had John last on the show, right?
Yeah. They come on after John was on the show. John was on the Friday and they turned up on the Monday.
Like the sad lot that give me show shit as well.
Absolute-
Is what I mean.
Yeah, but this is the thing about moist cockwombles. Yeah, they've got no gonads. Yeah, they won't show their faces.
Nothing. No.
They won't.
And in fact, they show themselves up in front of 160 people nearly. Do you know what I mean? Because none of them think they're good or clever.
Yeah, well, they feel they haven't showed themselves up because they say you don't know who you are. But when you get their IP's address and you get their addresses, then
that's what I'll do now. I'll send that straight to
I'm
the
more frightened of this fucking lollipop stick.
Proper moist cockwombles.
Proper moist cockwombles. If you want to know what a moist cockwomble looks like, you'll never fucking know because they won't show you their faces.
There, Eva.
Yeah.
A fucking moist cockwomble.
That is a moist cockwomble.
Tapping away.
Tapping away. I'm going to fucking tell these people what I'm fucking all about it. Well, anyway, that's it. Let's move on with the show.
I'll leave them in
the... They can sit in the green room. Enjoy the champagne. I just pissed in your glass, so enjoy it. It should go down well.
I'll leave them there.
You won't notice a lot of difference because you're probably fucking full of piss anyway. You know what I mean? So that's that.
They're so brave that they can't even let us know who they are.
They'll sit in that green room till the end of the show. They sit there. That's how, and they've got to be on a system to do that. Can you believe it? Here we go. Woman on a mission. The one and only Donna Proctor is in the house.
Guys.
Good evening, Donna.
How are we?
I'm good.
Nice to see you as well.
I've got a piece for you, Donna.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing anyway? Tell me how it's going. What's been happening?
Good at the minute. We've had a few incidents with security guards and stuff, but now we can't handle. So. And as you can see, I've lost my tooth now, so...
Just let a few people know either who you are, Donna Proctor, what you do for a living, and what you're going to do tonight. What you're going to have to say.
Well, I'm an escort. For those that have gone into gutter alley straight away, not that type of escort. I have flashing lights and 4 wheels.
Yeah.
And I actually work for a caravan company escorting the big static caravans around the country. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the minute. And basically, I wanted fuel prices and stuff. That I'd spotted something that was happening, and
go on.
Yeah, then it wasn't so long after they ended up on the news.
Yeah.
So my crystal ball worked again. It's to do with the fact that unleaded petrol is now either the same price as diesel or higher than diesel.
Let admin play this because we've got a thing on fuel prices and the cost of living in general, and then you can include this in what you're going to talk about.
The price at the pump is about more than just the cost of fuel. In fact, of that £1.82 record per unleaded litre, only 94 pence is the cost of the petrol itself. Transporting it costs 2 pence. The retailer takes a margin of 3. Then the government adds 53 pence in fuel duty, recently cut from 58, and then puts VAT on the whole lot for another 30 pence. So 46%, nearly half, is tax. And because prices have risen so quickly, the government is now getting more money than before it cut fuel duty, which is why people now are calling on it to do more.
There you go. That's your numbers. That's your numbers from. But bear in mind, they're the bottom line figures. I've seen myself. I've seen petrol. I've been out and about a few times, and I've seen unleaded and diesel for between 188, 189.9. That's what I've seen.
Well, in Lincolnshire, Dave, it's 191 at the moment in Louth.
In Wales, I believe diesel's at 2.9. So
how many?
2.9, and I'm sure someone said that they'd fueled up somewhere that it was 2.4, so it's going. But the thing is, people, it's like I actually got fact checked on something very similar to that you've just played regarding the price. Because I actually, at first, I put it up at out of that fuel you're getting taxed this, so it was like fact checkers. You know, you're onto something when the fact checkers jump on your ass. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, they did right. So I actually went onto the government website, got all the information, and I actually broke it down properly, and I just put at the end, fucking fact check this, you bastards. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Donna, Matt's just put something up. He's got another clip as well, which might help.
Go on then.
Prominent signs of life getting more expensive, and every day their huge, eye-watering numbers reach higher than ever before. And as the cost of filling the average family car with petrol ticked above £100 for the first time, some drivers in Birmingham were left wondering how much more they can afford.
I just can't deal with it, just not enough money, don't make enough to keep putting £93 in it every week.
We think twice about where we're going to go. Rather than 3 journeys, do 1 journey.
Wages aren't going up. It's just making it a lot harder to just try and exist.
The price of a litre of petrol has soared from an average of £1.45 at the start of the year. By the beginning of this month, it had risen to more than £1.74, but in just over a week, it's gone up by another 8 pence a litre. Analysts say drivers here are suffering from a global spike in oil prices.
We've also seen a rise in demand from China, which is one of the biggest demand centers globally, because the country's starting to gradually ease its lockdown policies.
It's left businesses that use a lot of fuel struggling to deal with the speed of the increase. This coach company had its delivery today. It cost £6,000 more than the one just a fortnight ago. The boss tells me he is having to raise prices, but that doesn't help right now.
Customers are travelling with us on holidays at last August's fuel prices. So you can imagine that's massively out of date now. So we're having to absorb that. We can't charge our customers extra for it now. We can't say to them, you're going on holiday with us next week, but we're going to have to charge you another £20 for your holiday. We can't do that.
There may be...
Well, just not on fuel, just for a second, right? A geezer that I know, just 2 doors down from the shop, he's got a calf, and they were paying £20 just over for a side of salmon, fresh salmon. He said they're 70 quid now. How'd you pass that on to your customer for a salmon sandwich?
Exactly. This is what we actually got told, that we were scaremongering. We got that guy giving us shit, if you remember before, saying we're scaremongering and stuff. And it's like, how are we scaremongering? Common sense tells you.
Months ago, Donna.
Yeah, you've got to remember, red diesel you can no longer get.
Yeah.
Right. It's something I'm going to research later on today, because obviously it all links in with the same thing. But apparently fertilizers doubled in price over the year.
I'm not buying it.
Farmers need that. Plus, obviously, with the red diesel, they're having to go to normal. Yeah, you do get certain discounts if you're buying a lot, but it still doesn't help overall. And all that money, you can't expect the farmers to go hungry, because they work for your food, so they've got to have that price up. And people don't seem to get it in here. That's what you need.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I've heard people say I'm not really bothered because I don't drive a car.
Yeah,
that's how moist some people are. You know what I mean? It don't affect me. I don't. Or I've even heard people say I only put in 20 quid's worth.
Yeah, that was
194. You fucking backward halfwit.
Yeah, you don't realise that the amount you're getting is a lot less to what it was.
From the pump to the end of the nozzle, the bit that's in the tube.
Yeah, I only paid. Yeah, that one did make me chuckle actually the first time I saw it.
I know. I only buy a score's worth at a time. Don't affect me.
No. What makes me laugh,
you're not getting fucking much.
What makes me laugh is that they want to do this to get you to buy electric vehicles and all that, and half of these buses are catching on fire now and burning the whole of the fleet to pieces.
All it needs is one
the whole nation.
I can't even say the word.
If the whole nation,
or diesel generators to charge them up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I was going to say, if the whole nation turned electric Monday morning, we'd all have fucking flat cars come Wednesday.
Well, they want the electric. They want to put the electric. It's bad enough that gas and electric's gone up as well. So they're still not thinking. Hang on a minute, everything's still going up, but they actually want the plans eventually is to put them all on separate meters outside, so it won't be linked to your own electric. It'll be at a higher rate on these boxes that recharge, and you'll get billed for that. But the bit with that as well is that if they have a shortage in the national grid, they can drain the cars to get the power back. Or say you do something, because this is all going to be linked into the credit scoring, right? You can see it coming, right? If you're naughty, they'll give you 40 miles on your clock the next day, but that's all you're getting for being a twat. You know, it's all part of this bigger picture, and it starts by starving the masses and controlling the masses, and this is exactly what it's leading to.
Annie O'Sullivan has just said that people around her area are now stealing cooking oil out of the fucking supermarkets, one presumes, to use for diesel cars, which you can run. You can run any diesel car on cooking oil. The diesel car was never designed to run on diesel. It was designed by a man called Benz, the diesel engine, and it was designed to run on nut oil. That's what it was designed to run on. But the petroleum company and government, petroleum companies first, obviously, found a byproduct, because a barrel of diesel doesn't just make petrol, or a barrel of crude oil. There's several items that come out of that. Tarmac, stuff for tarmac, diesel, petrol, and other such products come out of a barrel of crude oil. And diesel was a byproduct from the refining industry. And they went, oh, we can run cars on this instead of the nut oil and charge them fucking loads of money. And that's how diesel came about. So there you go. It is what it is. And it's illegal to run your car on cooking oil, diesel car. You have to notify DVLA, and you have to notify HMRC if you run your car on cooking oil. Anything other than diesel. You all right, Donna?
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out whether it's my end that's causing that rattle or whether I need to just jump out and jump back in again, because you sounded like a robot then, and I don't know why.
It's not my end.
Donna, I'm just looking in.
No, it's definitely my end.
I've just checked. My end's fine. My end's fine, Donna.
Right. Let me jump out then, and I'll jump straight back in, because obviously there's something going off. Okay.
Have you got the link?
I'm just looking in the wake up chat, Dave. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right?
Yep.
Looking in the wake chat. Just want to say thank you to everybody in the wake up chat watching us. Roy Pierce, Sonia, Spear Thrower, and the other guys that are in there. And Sonia's put in a piece in the chat room that it's £2.19 where she lives. £2.19.
£2.19?
Yeah, £2.19 where she is.
Jesus Christ.
And diesel is 194. 194.9 here. Spearthrow saying.
I saw that's from Spearthrow. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So yeah.
Did you hear that, Donna? £2.19 one person.
That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
But it's going to go a lot higher than that. Trust me. It's going to go.
Is that just general diesel or petrol, or is it the super?
Back to the wake up chat, Donna. It's just on. She said it's £2. All she's saying it's £2.19 where I live. So. Whether it be diesel or unleaded, I don't know.
Yeah, that could be the ultimate diesel though, because it's the higher.
It's fucking ultimately expensive. I know that.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd be down Clarks's buying a new pair of fucking shoes at that price.
But didn't Donna hit the nail on the head when she turned around and said it's part of everything they're trying to do? The control factor, that every single thing they've tried to do for the last 2 years and going forward, it's all about controlling us.
Even down to trying school kids on bugs. This is the next level of indoctrination you're going to see with these school kids when they're going to be feeding them bugs and stuff. It's all part of turning us into big like robots. They don't want us to own anything. They don't want us to be a family unit anymore. Do you know what I mean? This is why it's over time it's made people selfish and split the unit up.
Yeah.
And then divide and conquer techniques all the time. So you've got race, COVID, monkeypox now, and do you know what I mean? Everything's there to divide people, sort of like the way. So people, no one ends up agreeing with anyone, and you can't be my friend if you disagree on one thing. It doesn't work like that.
Of course it does.
Someone could be absolutely brilliant. Do you know what I mean? But you don't fall out with them just because they disagree on. Oh well, if you're friends with them, you better unfriend me.
There'd be a pretty boring friend, I think, if you agreed on every fucking thing they said. You never had a fucking disagreement.
Life would be boring if everyone agreed with the same shit. Yeah.
Joe Crossland is predicting, I'm going to scroll back, Joe Crossland's predicting £2.50 come August.
They want us on these.
Well, the thing with the electric cars as well, there's nowhere to actually get rid of the batteries. They don't tell you that it's slave labour that's getting the fucking lithium out for the batteries. They don't tell you,
evidently, especially the bus one.
And they don't. Yeah, well, that's one of them castrus. Oh, I can't even say the frigging. I hate that word. Castrus. Yeah. One of them runaways in a battery, right? And once one of them go, because they feed themselves their own oxygen, you can't put them out. So this is why you see the ones with the Teslas. Do you know where they was setting on fire? They thought they'd put them out and then they'd set on fire again. This is all because the way this actually sets on fire, it feeds its own oxygen, so it's hard to put it out. So when one goes, they're all good. There was a ship that went down with a shitload of cars on due to one freaking battery-operated car. Yeah, there was Lamborghinis and all sorts on that ship.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that.
We've seen the fire with the electric buses.
They were all high-end. They were all high-end luxury cars on there, weren't they?
Well, they're not going to have to worry about COVID or monkeypox killing us because the electric cars are going to do the job.
Yeah.
I don't think they're ever going to turn up in their numbers, darling, to be in all honesty. It's not workable.
Donna,
it might be workable in 50 years' time, but not in my lifetime.
What happens in August, Donna? Because for the simple reason, there's supposed to be a protest in London, and they're saying now, do not come to this if you want to piss up a disco and to march. This is going to be direct action. So put your hard hats on, come down, prepare for it. So let's just see what August brings. Whether it does, and they all go for a piss up and a song and dance is another thing.
Sonia in Wake, Essex, £2.19 for diesel. Graham Stringer, he had a blinder. Graham Stringer said there's a video going around of a Gulf station where it's $2.24 for petrol.
Wow.
I mean, but listen, I thought it would hit £2. That's where I thought we'd be, £2.
Yeah.
I always thought it'd go higher.
But I'm thinking more closer to £3, to be honest with you. Now, by the end of the year, it'll be somewhere around £3.
Where's everyone got the money for electric cars as well? You're talking between £16,000 and £22,000 for an half decent one.
They know you'll find it, Donna. That's what they know.
Yeah, but in the meantime, they're putting a load more people on the poverty line because they can't afford to put fuel in the car, so they can't afford to go to work. They can't afford to feed their family. They're killing other people that way.
It doesn't affect them.
Well, that's it. But people need to start waking up to the fact that they don't give a shit about anyone apart from the fucking selves.
To be honest with you, well, even not just people just now are so complacent and so tied up with mortgages. I mean, they're talking about, I don't know if you've seen it, but all these housing associations. Boris talked about it. Was it Boris that talked about it? Was it May? Anyway, it was discussed. It was one of the Conservative manifesto policies in 2015 that you could, the right to buy that Maggie did, fucking nutcase, which made a lot of people fucking half wealthy until they sold and realised that what they were going to buy was more money anyway. It's all swings and roundabouts. But they've decided to regurgitate the 2015 idea of the of people who live in social housing that are now, we don't have council houses like we used to do. We've not as many, nowhere near. It's all these private companies now. That's another backhander. That's what how they came about. So you're going to have your right to buy your social house, your what are they called, housing association house. You're going to have your right to buy that. But what they need to do, you see, is I don't mind the right to buy. I think it's not a bad idea because you get a discounted price because you've been there for a long time. You've paid a lot of money into it anyway. You probably fucking bought it through rent over the years anyway, right? But what they should do is, let's say, I don't know, whatever town you live in, you people, wherever you live, yeah, let's say that your local housing association says, right, we've got 300 people that who want to buy their social housing under the right to buy, then the fucking council should build 300 more council houses.
The thing is, though, again,
that should work. But they won't do that. They've never done
that. Is this another push for people to start buying their own houses ready for 2030 when Claude Sowell says you'll own nothing and be happy because then they've already drained them of the rest of the money?
Yeah.
The idea Margaret Thatcher, her reasoning, and their reasoning was that if the working class own their own houses, if we convince them it's a brilliant idea, there's no other nation on the planet like the British. For an Englishman's his castle and all that, he owns his castle and he must own it. You must own that castle, right? But the reason why they wanted the working classes to own their houses, right, because they knew that they can manipulate the interest rates. They can do that, so they can make you pay more when they want you to. And it's never gone fucking down, mortgage payments. So it only ever gone up. However, they've manipulated it because the prices have gone up, so the mortgage payments go up.
Well, they still made it cheaper than rent. So
it is cheaper than renting. Yeah. That is true. But what it is it's a huge fucking stone around your neck. Because when you come to make the decision between going on strike, not earning any money, hence not pay your mortgage, and the mortgage company saying, thank you, we'll have that back. It makes you think fucking twice, and that's what that was. It was used as a big fucking stick. That's what it was used as.
Have you seen the post that Matt's put up?
No.
About the price of what Matt's got for his flat. When we put the post that Matt put up, it was over £1,000, I believe.
I moved in my new flat the 24th of April. I just got my gas bill yesterday, $1,015.86. Get yourself down to Primark. Buy some fucking jumpers and some fucking thick socks. You're going to need them.
How can you afford that?
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
What you got to think of, right? Because to be honest with you, we've just had a problem at a place where we rent out five bed sits. Yeah. There's no hot water. Right. The immersion's gone. Couldn't get an immersion off the shelf. Got to order it. Blah, blah. It takes time, 5 days. People are fucking moaning because they've had no hot water for 5 days. Listen, I can remember myself. I'm old, but I'm not fucking historic yet, right? I can remember my mum boiling pans to fill up a fucking bath. You know what I mean? With hot water. Right? Where are we?
When the boilers dropped down.
And everything's modern, right?
In a previous house, obviously, but.
Sorry, darling.
Says I did it with my kids when we was in a previous house and the boiler broke down. You've got to cook up, for fuck's sake, and some big pans. You started.
Yeah. I mean, people do need to give their heads. We've been spoilt for fucking decades, haven't we? With fucking internet access, fucking lights are always on. I remember when the fucking lights were never on in the fucking winter because there was no fucking electric to put them on back in the 60s. And
sat in candlelight.
Yeah,
right.
We thought it's fucking brilliant when you're kids, isn't it? And your mum's fucking trying to cook your dinner.
The coal strikes,
But yeah,
the coal strikes, and you'd sit in that tin bath in front of an open fire.
Yeah. Well, I want that. I'm not that old now. You know what I mean? Come on. No, but I can remember. Listen, I can remember a fucking sink bath. How can't you? Can't you remember a strip wash in a sink bath? Yeah. We call it. It's a draining board, and your mum's fucking giving it all that with the fucking vim. You know what I mean? But yeah,
it's what needed to be done.
But people do need to give their heads a bit of a wobble because it's going to get to a point where you're going to have to you're going to have to get fucking creative and go back 50 fucking years. You know what I mean? But find yourself a cave and get some wood.
Could you just imagine people trying to live like they did back in the day. Do you know what I mean? They'd have full-on meltdowns. You think we've got a load of like snowflake meltologists or whatever you want to call them at the minute, but if they had somebody go back so many years and live like that, right? Me personally, I don't give a shit. I'll quite happily go and live out in an open field and like cook in a cauldron. And
yeah, but you rough it 5 nights a week, didn't you?
I just like to be with nature as well. That's why we've got our tin boxes that we go away in the weekend as well. So we live in tin boxes during the week.
Don't you? When you're out,
yeah.
When you're out, you know what I mean. You've got the van and the truck and the. I presume you're not allowed.
Plenty
to
of adventures
on the back. I would be.
No, we're not allowed. They're sealed. They're all sealed.
Right away, mate. I'll be testing the TV.
What's the furthest you go, Donna?
You what? Sorry.
What's the furthest you do, like driving wise, in a day?
Oh. Depends on the job. We can do from Hull to Cornwall or Granny's. The furthest one I've ever done is from Cornwall to Granny's, which was a 2-day run.
Jesus
so,
Christ.
But you get to see
driving,
all the pretty
That's
stuff.
a hell of a lot of driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got to bear in mind when you get to Scotland as well, you've got your 40-mile-an-hour speed limits, not the 50 that you get.
Annie O'Sullivan's just asked, what date in August, Al, is your demo?
I don't know. I've just seen it advertised, but I think it's around about mid-August. That's what I think.
How many?
Around about mid-August, between.
He's fucking fannying you, but he reckons it's about the middle of August, which puts him right in the middle. So it could be that way or that way. 12th of August. There you go.
Yeah.
About the middle and the bottom half.
I told you I was a day out.
He wasn't far out, was he? He was the middle, but it's the middle of the. It was the bottom half of the middle.
Do you want to keep Donna in and go to this last segment about the 50-year-old?
Say again, over.
Do you want to keep Donna in and let him stay in the show and do this last segment on the 50-year-old?
50s? He's fucking gained 10 years, has he, Al?
Has he?
You're like fucking Sky News, you are.
Oh, BBC.
We'll give it another 10 minutes. We'll put another fucking 5 years on him. Right, listen. There's a 40-year-old man on the run, right? So fucking watch yourselves over the weekend, right? The weekend's coming. There's a 40-year-old geezer on the run, right? And we've got a full description of him, and we're going to give that out in a minute. Yeah. He's on the run.
What more can you tell us?
What's happened here, Greater Manchester Police say, is nothing short of devastating, with a teenager killed and his mother seriously injured in what is a truly shocking incident. It was around 9:30 last night when emergency services were called here to an estate in Miles Platting, which is in North Manchester. They found the boy with stab wounds. He was treated for those stab wounds at his home. His mother was also taken to hospital, but he later died about an hour later. As you can see behind me, there's a lot of police activity, a huge police presence. I've seen officers searching nearby fields, knocking on doors, even picking up drain covers to see what's inside as a murder investigation has been launched. But what they're stressing at this stage is that this is a domestic incident. They believe the attacker, the suspect, was known to the victims, but they're of course appealing for information from the wider public and residents as well. They say the suspect is Asian, in his mid-40s, was seen wearing dark clothing of a medium build. I spoke to a number of residents. They say this is truly heartbreaking and upsetting at what has happened here. But police say they are working at what they call a tremendous pace to trace the suspect and to bring him in.
Right, listen, we're bang on the hour, yeah? So we got to fucking be quick now because we're on overtime and fucking Matt charges a fortune on overtime. So that's the 40-year-old man. He's described as Asian. Okay, that's the description. So we're looking for a 40-year-old Asian in Manchester. Fuck, we're not looking for him in the fucking city of culture in Bolton. We'll have to fucking arrest half the fucking city. Anyway, he's a 40-year-old Asian. No doubt when they fucking get him, yeah, he'll have a British passport and he'll be fucking British. So he's not 50. We did put 10 years on him. And
yeah,
definitely won't be fucking Asian.
And he'll shout the mental health card. You know, if he gets found, it'll be the mental health card. You know what's coming.
Yeah, yeah. So he'll be British. He'll be a British citizen, born and bred. Abdul, and will be his first name. It's a bit like Smith, really. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. I can see that fucking coming. So we already know that. So you don't have to tell us that. We already fucking know. Save your breath, Mr. fucking Sky TV man and Mr. BBC man. Yeah, we know what you're going to say. And as Donna said, he'll be playing the mental health card.
Yeah.
It is what it is. He's murdered a 15-year-old boy and he's seriously injured the mother. And she's in hospital fighting for her life, bless her. But anyway, that's what's happened in Manchester. It's just another fucking day.
Do you know what? Do you know what gets me as well? Right, is the fact that if I was in that mum's position and I actually made it through after being stabbed and then found out my son's not made it, I would have wished for him to have let me go with him. Do you know what I mean? She's going to go through so much shit now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's heartbreaking. So the little fucker wasn't shooting in the head. I'm sorry.
Well, we need. Thank you very much indeed for that, Charlotte Marie. It's much appreciated. It does take a long. It takes about 8 hours to put one of these 1 hour shows together. That's how long it takes. You know what I mean? At about 25, 30 quid an hour. So work it out yourselves. We don't ask for a penny. Just buy us a drink and send the fucking postal orders to the Facebook jail, which is here. Yeah, we need them.
I like the way you both picked about. You both got the same decorators.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have. We
decided was more expensive than these.
We're going in for the full fucking operation next week. You know what I mean? We might turn into women, one of those modern women with a fucking.
Oh no! Please don't.
No, it's bad enough as it is.
I've got someone who'll do me nails. I know someone who does them cheap. Funny enough. If anybody wants any nails, beautiful nails they are, gorgeous nails, and he's got 6 kilos of glitter that he makes the nails up with. The fella's name's Ryan, and Matt knows him ever so well. And he sells them via TikTok, and he's got a website, and Matt will put it up in a minute. But if any of you ladies want to buy nails, like proper nice nails, and they're ever so good value for money, Matt will stick the link up because we do that sort of stuff. There's also a PlayStation 5 up for sale on the website. There you go. How about that? PlayStation 5. It's 800 and odd gigabyte. The key rings are back in stock. Okay. Alan's been out and got another cotchel. So by all means, go to the loquaciouslive.co.uk website, buy yourself a key ring and help promote the show. Or help fund the fucking thing, please. Because me and Alan and Matt and the rest of us are going fucking skids. And the price of petrol's fucking a nightmare. And we do need to fill our vehicles up now and then. Like, oh, look, fucking Matt's in the lounge now as well. Move the piano. We've got another one coming in.
You won't be Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen.
I just want to say to Donna before we go, Donna, I'll be in contact with you this week to get the show booked in, possibly for a Saturday for Little Ethan.
Yeah,
me and Dave spoke about it. I've spoken to Lola. She's aware. I think Alan, I'm not sure if I've spoken to you.
I'm just going to show you the backup team, just in case this fucking lunatic comes back.
We're going to do... Is it all right to say it, Donna? Or shall I?
Yeah.
About Ethan?
No, that's fine. Oh, yeah, no, that's fine.
Whole fucking team behind me for the fucking horse galloper, Mr. Moist fucking Cockwomble, yeah? Any more fucking out of you lot, mate, and this fucking lot's coming round your gaff. They'll be marching up your fucking street, so cut it out. Photoshop that, you fucking knobs. Anyway, listen, I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? They were people back in the day, and they did fucking turn up. And they will turn up round your gaff, won't you, lads?
So, yeah, just quickly before we go, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to book in a show on a Saturday afternoon with a little lad who is 5, am I right? 5 years old. Last year suffered with leukemia, is that right?
Yeah, stage 4 Burkitt's leukemia.
Yeah, and this year I had a birthday of a lifetime. We're going to follow that up with Ethan's story in a couple of weeks. He's going to come onto the show and tell us a little bit when once we've got dates sorted. Donna's going to travel down to, is it Birmingham, Donna? You've got to go to.
Well, it's Walsall, so.
Right, okay. So as soon as we've got all that in, if we could get that shared out, guys, that would be absolutely great. We'll probably put that up 2 weeks before we do it, but that would be great. We're going to get him a couple of little gifts as well.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah, I've just actually
another brick in the wall.
I've just done a YouTube video and put it up. It's his like from Laura, his mum, and it's like his first year journey. And I've got it on YouTube. It's on Truckers Truth because obviously that's our charity for Truckers Truth.
They had a video, didn't they, of his birthday treat, which was he was picked up in a.
Right there.
and they had it all recorded and they put it on TikTok, and TikTok took it down.
Right, listen, the last
what was
thing I
the
want to
reason?
do now, I know you've done that and you're going to put all that together, right?
Yeah.
The last thing
Next
I want to
week.
say now is Paul Bogey's got his tickets on for sale for Help for Heroin to Hero, which is on at the Fringe from the 5th of August right through to the 28th. That's on. There is a podcast that Tony McGeever, who did the War Horses, you know the geezer who done War Horse? Tony McGeever. He's playing Paul Bogey and they've made a play out of it. Hopefully, we've already got the book. We've now got the play, and hopefully, we'll end up with the film. Yeah, that's the ultimate end after the Fringe. Quite a few of us are going up to the Fringe. We haven't decided on a date yet, so hold your fucking war horses, because we will announce a date when we're going. It could be the beginning of the 5th. It might be the second week in, but I've not come up with a date that I'm totally free for the weekend yet. So if you
So
want
it could
to
be
come up,
either side, you know, like you were saying earlier, either side you pick in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next is the Quasius Kiwings. We've done it. The weekend's coming. Enjoy yourselves. Next week's guests on the show is the one and only Joseph Blair. We've also got Paul Webster and the one and only Welsh fucking guardsman, Clive Spencer. So they're the 3 guests that are lined up for next week. One's Monday, one's Tuesday, one's Wednesday, and one's Friday. And we might get another couple, and there might be the odd fucking person turns up fucking thinking they're a fucking horse.
And don't forget to tune in for me and Dave with What the Fuck with Doc and D tomorrow night. We've got some more beers in. One's a chocolate and marshmallow stout, so this will be an interesting one.
There you go. What time do you do that, Donna?
Any time between 8 and 9 o'clock. We try and get on earlier, but
you do that on Facebook Live, don't you, Donna?
Yeah, and then I download it and put it on YouTube.
Pauline Goodfellow is going to go and see the one and only Chris McGlade. That's his forgiveness show. He's a comedian. The show, I'm telling you, I've known Chris for quite a while. He come down and done a favour for us at the Gurkhas last year, and I've been to a few Chris's shows. The last one was Backyard Comedy Club in the East End. He's fucking brilliant. If you see Chris McGlade's got a show on anywhere near you, I suggest you go and see it. Chris McGlade's dad got murdered, and he's done a comedy show on the back of it called Forgiveness, and it is fucking brilliant. And he's doing a national tour of that at the moment. I'm going to go and see him when he comes to Brighton next month, and we'll go out on a few beverages. So that's that and all about it. Have a lovely weekend, everyone.
For our lovely trolls that made a visit last night.
The trolls played a visit there.
Because we've got hurdles of abuse in our private message. We'd rather have it than anyone else because we can
pick up
take
a little fucking jump course for you. See how fucking good you are. Right? I'll get you at Hickston.
Have you seen the private chat?
No, I don't see a lot of the private chat. I can't comment on it anyway, so I don't pay a lot of attention. I'll look at the stuff.
They're better off giving it to us, aren't they, than someone else that can't take it.
Oh, yeah. Bring it on, mate. Bring it on. Fucking hell, mate. Keep doing that. You know what I mean?
And now on that note, just a big thank you to the Wake Up people and the Wake Up chat room. Thank you to them guys as well.
Yeah.
And
Anybody in YouTube?
Right.
The cop wombles that are on BoobTube. Thank you very much for listening. I'm going. The numbers are dropping. We've all had enough. Good night. God bless. And I'll see you later if you believe in him. And have a lovely weekend. I love you all, even though you don't love me. Run the credits, Matt. We're fucking.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got trouble, and I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, see it through, 'cause you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, big and stronger too, maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy, and as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our gas.